Alright, you guys, I just want to go ahead and show you guys an example on Khan Academy on how to graph it. So I will be showing the work on how to find the x-intercepts and the vertex, and then once we do that, we'll go ahead and graph it here. In this case, all you need whenever you're graphing in Khan Academy is 2 points. This bottom point here, once again, that represents the vertex. So when we find the vertex, it's this point that we're going to go ahead and be moving around. And that's actually the first one that we should be plotting, the vertex. And then from there, we'll go ahead and move on to the other points, which would be the x-intercepts. So let's go ahead and solve this here, guys. And once again, first step in this case is we want to go ahead and find our x-intercepts. All right, so if we're finding our x-intercepts in this case, guys, we're actually making the binomials in this case, x plus 5 and x minus 3 equal to 0, so we could solve for the x-intercepts. So I have x plus 5 equal to 0, and we also have x minus 3 equal to 0. In this case, if we solve for x here, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 5 to both sides. X in this case equals negative 5. X there. So again, so x in there is going to equal negative 5, and I'm going to go ahead and add 3 on this side, add 3 there, and next there is going to equal to 3. So if we plot those points in this case, those points would be negative 5 comma 0 and 3 comma 0. So next step in this case, guys, is to find the vertex. Find vertex. And in this case, guys, if we're finding the vertex, we need to first find our x-coordinate of the vertex. And in order to do that, once again, x-coordinate, it's the same thing as saying the axis of symmetry. So we actually have to find the average of these two x's. So finding the average means adding both of those x's and then dividing by 2, because that's the amount of numbers we're adding in this case. So negative 5 plus a 3 is going to be a negative 2. Negative 2 divided by 2 is a negative 1. So in this case, the x-coordinate of the vertex is negative 1. Or the axis of symmetry here is negative 1. All right, so we found that one. So once again, that was the x-coordinate of the vertex. It's that value right there. So next step in this case, guys, is to find the y-coordinate. Y-coordinate of the vertex. And in order to do that, guys, to find the y-coordinate here of the vertex, we want to go ahead and substitute this value, the x we just found, into our original equation. So wherever I see an x here, I will be substituting a negative 1. So let's go ahead and do that, and I'll go ahead and write that in red. So I have y equals negative 3 over 8 times, instead of an x, I'm going to do negative 1 plus 5 times negative 1 minus 3. All right, so y equals negative 3 over 8. And negative 1 plus 5 is 4. And negative 1 minus the 3 is negative 4. All right, so then we have y equals negative 3 times 8. 4 times a negative 4 is going to be negative 16. And once again, I'm going to go ahead and put this over 1. And we multiply top with top, bottom with bottom. That's going to give us negative 3 times the negative 16 is a positive 48. And then 8 times 1 is 8. 48 divided by 8 is 6. So in this case, the y-coordinate of the vertex is 6. So our vertex in this case is the point negative 1, 6. So vertex, I'll write it up here, negative 1, comma 6. So I want to go ahead and plot this in the graph here. So I first need to plot my vertex, -1, 6. It's telling me that I have to move this middle one to the left, and 6 up. Alright, so that one's my vertex. Now I'm going to go ahead and move this one to be my x-intercepts. Once again, my x-intercepts here are going to be the points -5, 0 and 3, 0. So if I go on to 3, 0, notice how it already plotted me at -5, 0. Or I could actually go -5, 0, and it still leaves me at 3, 0. So once again, you only need to plot these ones in order for you to get the other one. Now, if you have your vertex incorrect, it's not gonna it's not gonna mark your x-intercept. So make sure you graph your vertex correctly, and let's go ahead and check our answer here. And we got that correct.